Marcus Smart to the Washington Wizards.
Ooh, wow. Yeah. Wow. I just got that. The Memphis Grizzlies are trading Marcus Smart in a 2025 first-round pick to the Washington Wizards in a multiple-team trade that sends 2 second-round picks to Memphis. Guys, now, if you remember correctly, Marcus was supposed to be heading to Washington, right, in that Kristaps deal before that fell through. So,
okay, well, the first thought that comes through my mind,
I'm sorry, that was Brogdon. I'm sorry.
no,
Yeah.
I did. Well, the first thought that comes through my mind right now is, okay, buyout, right? Washington, go and buy out Marcus Smart, free agent, veteran minimum. He's back in Celtics green again, right? This is what's going to happen. Huh? I can see it. I mean, why not? Why not? I mean, I'm like, why not? What is he mad? Like, also Kevin Porter Jr. to the Bucks for Marjon Beauchamp, which is whatever deal, honestly, for me. But in terms of Marcus Smart, I'm just gonna say this right now. I can kind of see him back in Celtic green, unless he's really mad.
Stop it!
Unless he's really mad. Okay, like if he is bought out by the Wizards, okay, and goes and joins a contender. Why wouldn't we welcome back into the Celtics organization? Because we traded him.
No, hear me out. And I love Marcus, but he's
not going to have as big of a role, that's for sure.
But
he's going to be back in his 16-17 role.
Can you have a guy that of Marcus Smart, who was last time he was here, he was viewed as the third member of the big three. He was the heart and soul. He was one of fan favorite. He was kind of like he was the starting guard. And you think he's going to come back to Boston? And what? That's just all out the window.
There's no way Brogdon wasn't involved in that trade, right? Like, have the details dropped on that?
What we have so far is Memphis to Marcus. In a first to Washington in a multi-team deal, in a second goes to Memphis. The other team is not stated.
Oh my God!
Yet.
Hopefully it's Boston. We just sent Tillman back to Memphis. That'd be sweet.
We have another trade here. We announced to start to pick up. Here we go. Los Angeles Clippers are trading Kevin Porter Jr. to the Milwaukee Bucks in exchange for Marcin Beauchamp.
Patterson. Celtics extend. Wow. Can you believe that? Wow. I thought Smart in Memphis, although he hasn't been able to stay healthy with them, I thought that was a really good culture fit for them, man. Who did they get in return? Is that we don't know yet, do we?
That's still to be found out.
Okay.
Well, no, we do. We do know what Memphis got. Memphis got a second-round pick back from Washington.
Yeah, they got a third grader. Okay, but they didn't get a player?
No, they gave up a first and Marcus Smart to get rid of him.
Okay, so they're getting rid of his money. So that's the thing. They're getting rid of his money right here. They're getting rid of Marcus Smart's money. So I'm under the impression that the Wizards are gonna go ahead and
buy him out.
Yeah, and then he's free agent.
Can you believe Marcus Smart turned into a potential buyout player? Man.
I'm just saying, like, Celtics reunion with Marcus Smart, I really don't think he would have that big of a role. Like,
and this is the fundamental problem. Wait, I'm sorry, but like, this was the fundamental problem of which Marcus Smart's role on the Celtics was. Marcus Smart is a year and a half removed from his role in Boston, and now he is essentially in a buyout candidate market. And he was playing 40 minutes a game in the playoffs, taking the third amount of shots in a game 6 to potentially go back to Boston to extend to what was one of the most historic comebacks in NBA history. He was the one taking the shot. That's my point, whereas there is such a fundamental dysfunctional relationship between the player Marcus Smart and the person Marcus Smart. Right. Smart was never as good to play the role he did. He was never good enough to do the things he did.
Could Boston even get him? Because aren't we very deep into the tax apron? Like, we can't do buyout candidates, or is there certain buyout candidates?
I believe so. If we wanted Marcus Smart, Franco,
what are you doing, Franco? Rob's talking. What are you doing?
And it's also 3:00. You've missed that.
The bells have rung.
He is such a twat.
The bells have rung. Welcome.
Hey, at least the camera hasn't fallen.
Is that an acceptable word?
Twat.
What?
Yeah.
Isn't it like a British version of like an idiot?
How is it?
I don't know.
You
I
gotta
hear
be
British
careful.
people
Myers
say it.
Leonard out here had no idea what he was saying.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, that's true. How about Franco's an idiot? How's that?
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't dabble in any of that.
Franco's an idiot.
No, but I mean, look, seriously, it's like here he is. But on your question, so Boston, their cap situation with the apron and the buyout market, they can sign anybody and any contract that got released if it's a minimum deal, right? Because the Springer deal gets them off the contracts. And that was a move needed. So they could sign anybody, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, as long as it's a minimum. Now, if they want to go above the minimum, they cannot go anywhere. They can't touch any player that was making above
so it's
that.
we can. It's
mid-level.
just very limited.
Yeah.
Right.
And
it's not very
James
realistic.
Wiseman just got traded to the Toronto Raptors for cash considerations from the Indiana
torn
Pacers.
Achilles.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't even think he's going to even suit up this year, right? Isn't he out for the year?
No. Yeah, he's done.
And that was like the first game of the year, I think, or at least like the first week. Yeah, I remember watching that. Yeah. So we're going to see trades roll through here in the final few minutes, but man, Smart trade deadline buzzer beater from the Grizzlies. That's interesting. I'm interested to see because it does say multi-team deal, so I'm interested to see what other teams were involved. I'm interested to see what assets, what players were sent in and out. That's interesting, and it as of right now, it's looking like the Celtics are done making moves unless there's a trade in the works right now, a little past 3 that they haven't completed yet. So I believe that the Celtics are expected to focus on the buyout market to add on the roster. They can't sign any player who's made above the mid-level exception. That is per Gary Washburn. So it looks like the Celtics are staying pat for the remainder of the trade deadline and will look into the buyout market, as Rob was just saying, with the minimum deals that they can make. They do have 2 open roster spots. Technically, logically speaking, the Celtics only have 1 if we're going to go by what Brad Stevens prefers to do. He's kind of been notorious for leaving an open roster spot for this team.